Hi, everyone. Welcome to Everything Life in Real Estate. I'm Linda McKissick.
And I'm Dana Gentry.
And Dana, I'm so excited today. We have a great guest with us. So if you would, Jessica, why don't you introduce yourself and tell everybody about your journey in real estate?
Great. My name is Jessica Fox Wimmer, and I'm a team leader in Clearwater, Florida. And I grew up in the real estate industry. I've been in real estate for 25 years and in leadership for 16.
Great. So Jessica, I'm really excited to talk to you today. Dana and I did a Tech Talk 1, and this is Tech Talk 2, if you will. And I'd love for you to share, because, our role in doing this podcast is we love the real estate agent and we love the real estate industry. And our job is to really try to make the realtors have the best possible life, the bigger, brighter futures that they could possibly have by knowing what they need to know about everything life in real estate. So with that being said, you're spending a lot of time educating agents in your area. I see a lot of your videos, and you're spending just a lot of time and energy on this topic of waking up as the real estate community in the tech world. Why are you doing that?
Well, first of all, because I care. I know that, with the unique perspective I have had been, growing up in the business, literally. I used to go to the office when I was 8 years old. And so I really have seen the real estate industry evolve from the days when we had MLS books till today. And I know that we're in a critical moment in real estate, and it's because of the fourth industrial revolution. And we know that that's changed every industry, so we know it's going to be changing ours. So I know that it's important for my agents to react to what's happening quickly, and I know that we have a solution.
Jess, I want us to just kind of be unplugged today and really just share any information that we can that, like Linda said, can have our agents kind of wake up, and agents at any company. And I would love to know, you said the fourth industrial revolution, which is something we've talked about on previous episodes. How would you just quickly explain the fourth industrial revolution?
Well, with the advent of technology and convenience, and when we say convenience with technology, we can look at any aspect of our life, and technology has brought in new conveniences, from the way we order food, the way we shop. Really, every element, every industry has been changed. And it would be quite arrogant of us to think real estate wouldn't also change, and it has. So, you look at today's world of even how you might order a meal and have it delivered, and you can have any type of meal now. Well, that is artificial intelligence plus big data delivered through technology. And now that's become the new norm and an expected experience that every consumer has, really, in every industry. And so our industry is now getting a lot of pressure because of that, and it's also bringing a lot more different competitors and different platforms that we're having to contend with.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And, in the beginning, this was really hard and confusing for me. I've been in the business 30 plus years. And I know it will be for a lot of agents, some who are just, didn't grow up with a generation of you do everything on the internet. However, I just started paying attention to my own life and how much I love Amazon and how Amazon recognizes me and makes suggestions for me, and it feels personal to me. And same thing with Netflix. But my real wake up call and aha on this was when someone explained that really the place we have to get to in the real estate industry is nobody wants to go to your website. Nobody wants to type in lindamckissick.com or mckissickrealtygroup.com or any of those things. They want their, when you go to Amazon, you don't go to their page, you go to your own personalized page for there. And so that's when I really kind of woke up and realized that's where we have to go as an industry, is we have to go to a place where whatever the consumer wants to do on real estate, it's personalized and it's specific to them, but it ties me in the loop and keeps me involved with the transaction.
Right. It's the one-to-one.
Yeah, it's the one-to-one. Yeah. Yes, absolutely. So I'm an opportunist, and I always believe where there is like a little bit of change and fear and those kind of things, there's always an opportunity. So where do you think the opportunity for the agent is, who wants to win in this business and stay in this business long term and going forward? Where do you think the opportunity is for realtors in this?
Well, there is so much opportunity. And the reality is that with this disruptive change to our industry, we're going to have agents leave the industry. NAR's making projections that I think it's by next year, about this time, we'll have about a third less agents. Mm-hmm. And so that doesn't mean we're going to have less transactions. That means we're going to have less hobbyists and less 1 and 2 deal agents in the business, which means for those of us that are serious about real estate and treat it like a business, there's more for us. So I think for the agents that are ready to double down, there's never been a better time, never better moment in history, and there never will be this history again. So any agent that chooses to go all in right now really could double their business overnight. And at the same time, I really feel that although this is very disruptive and it's maybe challenging to lead through all this change, it's an opportunity for our industry to really get an extreme makeover and be a better version. We will be defined by the quality of our agent, and the best of the agents will really thrive in this time.
So I know a lot of people out there are thinking, okay, what does that even mean? So, and sometimes when you're the teacher of something, you see things that, you know, agents aren't doing that you're like, man, if I was an agent, here's what I would be doing right now. So we've got a lot of KW people on, and we, you know, we're at a big conference right now, and we're learning about Command and what all it's going to do and how it's going to actually be the platform for us to do all these things. But we got a lot of people in our audience who are with other companies. So let's go both ways. Let's say if you were a KW agent, what are the 1, 2, or 3 things you would tell them to start doing right now to really take advantage of this one-to-one future that's getting created, so that they come out on the other side with a lot more market share and a better business and a, you know, a more leveraged business? What would you tell the KW people to do? And then let's switch and talk to someone who maybe their company isn't even talking about this or don't have anything.
Okay. So the reality is, the more technology, the more tech the world gets, the more we all crave connection and a sense of community. And it is an opportunity for all realtors really to get back into relationship with our people. You know, almost to feel like be the mayor of your database, get back into relationship, get hyper local, support other local businesses, be that community connector, and connect people to the life and the lifestyle they desire, which is partly their home. So we have such an opportunity kind of get off autopilot, because I think many of us kind of have coasted into more of transactional real estate versus relational real estate.
I think that is so important to touch on, because that's been like kind of a hot topic here this week too.
Right.
And it seems like every single person that has been up on stage and that has presented has said, get back to the basics and get belly to belly with your people.
Well, and just, you know, if you look at the headlines, one of the things that's a disruptor right now is Amazon. Amazon getting in relationship with realtors and eliminating the realtor out of the transaction in many ways. And to the point where, if, you know, Dana, if I was selling you a house and, you know, you needed some repairs done or you needed some recommendations, I have a Rolodex of local business relationships that I can connect you with. Well, Amazon's trying to sneak in and say, no, we'll have our own people. And what is that going to do to my business?
Yep.
Well, I may get a lot of referrals and business support from those other people, right? And that's local business versus Amazon, you know. So I think agents need to really look and value relationships at a higher level, and it's our opportunity to kind of give ourselves an extreme makeover, get back to the basics, crack open the MREA again, and get back in relationship with our people. And you can do that. I don't care if you're Keller Williams or any other brokerage. That is something that we all need to take action on. Now, if you are KW, you have Command, and you know, we really can just plug in and dive right in. So in all of our offices, we're rolling out Command. Many of you may have already been on Command, but now you can actually function from relationship to close to post relationship in Command. So the whole product is working at this point. And I think it's time for our agents to wake up and dive in. So if I was one of my own agents, I would quickly get engaged with the office and make sure that I'm set up and ready to go. It takes about 3 hours total to transform and give your business that extreme makeover that you probably need anyway, and be launched on Command. And then basically look at what you're not doing that you probably should have been doing to get back into relationship with your people.
So one of the things that I hear a lot of people from the stage saying, and also I've heard you say, and I know we know this also, but part of what you have to do to have a one-to-one future with someone is you have to have a good, clean database. And database, it's always been our, you know, our gold mine in the business. And we've honestly, as a group, have done a really poor job of mining it and nurturing it and working it. And so to me, the beautiful thing about technology is it's going to remind me to do that. It's going to make it easier to do that. But one of the first things I see that our agents will need to do is you'll need to go in and make sure in your databases that you actually just physically have their physical address. And I just heard about a text feature today that you're going to be able to have, but if you don't have their phone number, it won't be any good.
Yeah.
Right. So, I think it starts first with them just cleaning up their database. And there's some exciting things about having this kind of technology in the palm of your hand, because over my 30 years of doing business, how many times have we had that wake up call and go, wow, I haven't even spoken to this person in like 3 years. I don't know where they are. I don't know if they're going to sell pretty soon or if they're not. Yeah. And so now all of a sudden we don't have to worry about that, because the analytics and the AI will actually let us know based on their activity, just like Amazon knows when I'm ready to buy something. And apparently now that I'm a grandmother, I need to buy lots of baby stuff.
Oh yes.
As per Amazon says. So I love this because it's going to allow us to do something that we haven't physically been able to do as realtors before. Yeah. And now with the right system and the right platforms, you actually will be able to just get up every day and your task will be there for you to do all those things.
Well, and it even starts before that, Linda, because I think the database, data bank, whatever you want to call it, sphere of influence has been the bane of all of our existence of entering and all that. The smart database in Command is not like a CRM. It's not like Top Producer. It's not like what we typically have experienced, because it syncs with where our data is. So the neat thing is many people have a little bit of data in their phone, a little bit of data on Facebook, a little data, in Google or wherever they have it. When we pull the data, it brings all that information in a pure form. So if I have just your phone number in one device and just your email in another, we're able to pull all that data together. So you can really truly see this as the best opportunity to give your business an extreme makeover to be the best version of you moving forward. And then you just layer in artificial intelligence kind of poking at you and saying, hey, this person in your database probably is going to be moving soon. And you add in all the things that you wish you would be doing or could be doing, or you've heard others are doing with smart plans. And you can literally turn it on and automate 80% of your business. So I know that change can be challenging, and yet this industry is nothing but change right now. I don't care what brokerage you're at, you're going to have to change. If you want to stay in business, you are going to have to become the agent of the future. And so this is, again, another opportunity for us just to do this, jump in, dive in, get engaged, and give your business an extreme makeover.
Yeah, and because artificial intelligence is only as powerful as the data, a small independent, and I've got a lot of friends at small independent companies, and they love their company. There's no right or wrong. You make a choice based on what you're trying to accomplish in your business. But I'm a little concerned with companies who either don't have the means or the dollars or enough agents for their data to even be smart enough to help an agent know these things. What in the world do you see in the future is going to have to happen for those companies? Are they going to have to affiliate with somebody who has created that system? Or are they just going to get a smaller piece of the pie? What do you see there?
Well, what's really interesting is Gary Keller is making this change for our industry. He's taken a stand for all realtors. So if you're at a small independent or a large brokerage other than Keller Williams, he's doing this for all of us, and we're all going to benefit. And yet what we're seeing is, he cares about small business and small brokerage, and he honors branding and respects that. So we're actually seeing quite a few roll-ins of small brokerages in our company. So they're, ABC Realty powered by Keller Williams, because they're proud of the brand they've developed. They're proud of the business they've built. They don't want to lose that identity. And so one of the things I think is so special about Keller Williams is we honor branding. We want our agents to brand themselves. And so a small brokerage can roll in to Keller Williams, keep their location, keep their identity, keep the way they run their business, and yet plug into all of our tools, which will help those businesses stay in business. Because the alternative is that they lose everything. If they go to a very big franchised model, they lose their identity. Or if they plug into the wrong bolt-on technology, they may actually be helping our enemies.
Yeah.
I found one thing I wanted to get your thoughts on. Then I had two questions for you. So one, I saw this on a sign today out in the event hall, and it said, artificial intelligence makes searches smarter and provides recommendations that hit the mark. When your app is their favorite go-to, you will be too. So I just wanted to get your thoughts on the importance of having like this consumer app for our agents, for any agent.
Right. So I think the first challenge is to teach our agents what this app is going to do that's different from the Zillow app or the whatever app the consumer is using or that their friends and family are using, because they need to be able to differentiate what the search 2.0 experience is. And that's really what it is. We're going to real estate 2.0 with search 2.0, which is a voyeuristic search. Our friends and family will be able to search by the kitchen. If they really want to know what the kitchen looks like first, they can just search homes by kitchen.
I love that it gave the example of if you just like white cabinets, you can, and then all that will show up is just white. I mean, it's crazy. It's
awesome. It's just like us shopping on Amazon now or these other sources that we never did before. It's a better experience, and that's why we're coming back. And so if I'm a friend of yours and you're a Keller Williams agent and you share my app, I might say, oh no, I already got the Zillow app. You need to be able to articulate the difference. So first things first is we got to get our agents to be aware of what does this look like and what is the experience. And then second to that, I think, I forgot what your question was.
Second to that, the question was, how important do you think it is for them to get the app into the hands of their consumers, their clients?
Right. So they need to explain the value so that they're going to delete one app to add yours, which is a very cool app. So it's not going to be difficult to do that. But yet the thing is that when you get your arms around your people, you protect your business that way. It's we call it building the moat around your business. And if I already have your app and it's awesome to use and it's exceeding my customer experience, I'll never have a need to go to Zillow.
Right.
I'll never have a need to go to Amazon. I'll never have a need to go to Redfin, because what you're providing me is so much better, and it's just going to keep getting better and better and better. We're never going to be done with this. This innovation will never end, and I already have a relationship with you, so why would I not want to work with my friend? Even if they try to add some other discount or other tool that you can get with Keller Mortgage and Keller Coverage and the Keller offers, really every disruptor that we're contending with, from iBuy to discounters to really just tech, we trump in every category. So if our agents learn what they have and learn how to articulate the package, they'll never lose.
Yeah. Okay, so if we talked about getting back to basics, so I think we should for a second. So let's just say that there are agents that are out there that say, I'm so busy in my business, I don't have time for all of this. I haven't been paying attention to what's been going on. What advice would you give them, number one? And number two, what resources do you use that you would say, okay, because there's so much, and it's like Linda and I talk to agents all the time, and they're like, I don't even know where to go to even begin to understand what's happening. So what resources would you give them, and what would you say?
And even your resources, you have some great videos that address that. So
I communicate to my agents through jessicafoxcoaching.com. And I'm sharing every week what's critical. But the reality is it's only taking me 3 hours to launch an agent and give them an extreme makeover to be 100% on our program. So I would challenge the agent that says I'm too busy to say, you don't have a choice. You're going to need to get ready, because it's happening. And don't be late. Don't be late to this. So I don't think they can afford not to stop, to slow down, so they can speed up. Because the reality is, if they're that busy, if I could get my hands on them and give them an extreme makeover by putting this automation in their business and helping them save money and unplug from maybe the platforms they're on that aren't serving them, that are maybe even giving their data to their competitor,
that they're paying a lot of money for.
Right. So I'm going to save them money. I'm going to save them time. I'm going to create efficiencies. I'm going to create time. So any agent that would give me that objection, I would sit down and just schedule it, because they don't realize what they don't have.
So when you sit down and you do that appointment with them, what do when you talk about them getting an extreme makeover, what are the things you actually help them do? Is it like, now you can set up a Facebook post, or now you can do a design real quickly, and like we heard from the stage today, like less than 5 minutes, and they can make a cool design, and your marketing all of a sudden looks fabulous. What are some of those things that would be involved in the makeover?
So first things first, with everyone I'm speaking with, if it's Keller Williams agent or another agent that I'm just helping, we do an evaluation of what they're using and where their efficiencies are, what they're spending money on, what programs they're on. So it's really just a 10-minute conversation to evaluate. And then I help unplug from companies that they may not realize are working against them.
So give them a couple of ideas of companies that they're paying pretty big dollars for that you would have them unplug from immediately.
Well, Dotloop. Dotloop would be the first thing I'd unplug from. And as a company, we have an initiative to make sure that our agents are unplugging as quickly as possible while we're protecting their data.
Why would you say Dotloop first?
Well, Dotloop is owned by Zillow.
Right.
Yeah. And Zillow is not our friend. So that's one. Top Producer is another, owned by Realtor.com.
Mm-hmm.
So if you actually look at these companies, a lot of times agents don't know who owns them and where their data is. And they've never really cared about that before. And frankly, I didn't care about it until 2 years ago because I didn't know. And yet, okay, so maybe it's some company that's not Zillow or Dotloop or Amazon right now. But what if they were bought? What if they were bought tomorrow? So
which is happening.
It's happening left
every
and
day.
right. Yeah, it seems like it's every day. So I would first evaluate where they're at, help them come up with a strategy, and then dream a little. Like, what do you wish you were doing in your business?
Mhm.
Because again, this is an opportunity not only to change but to transform.
Yeah.
You know, and a lot of us are single agents or barely leveraged agents that are working 60, 70 hours a week. And by putting in some of this automation and efficiencies, they're going to get their life back. Their business is going to grow. They're going to have time for their family, and their business will become predictable. So for me to trade that for 3 hours, I think I can get anyone to slow down that long.
Yeah. What was said from stage today, it's almost like getting a virtual assistant instantly, which is so cool, right?
That can read your mind, that also knows what you should be doing, and can just do it for you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
What about, okay, so I feel like one of the things that we should probably touch on is, what about the agent that says, I don't know, this whole tech thing, it's just, I hear about it, but I'm just going to keep doing my business like I'm doing my business right now.
I have some of those same agents, and frankly, I'm worried about them because, that's like the taxi cab drivers are still driving taxis. Actually, when I got off the airplane the other night, we walked through the airport and all of us went to the Uber and we passed, 50 taxis just sitting there waiting for some business.
We did the exact same thing. We actually were talking about that.
And, at some point, that line's going to get shorter and shorter and shorter because there's going to be less and less and less of them because the world has already changed. So when there's an industrial revolution, it changes the industry forever. Yeah. So this isn't just a shift. This isn't a market correction. This isn't a mortgage meltdown. This is a forever change. And so even if an agent isn't personally being impacted today, they probably should have been, because they probably could have been doing some other things in their business that they may not be doing now. And yet if they don't become Search 2.0, if they don't become Realtor 2.0, I'm concerned that they'll stay in business.
Yeah. Or someone else will decide how much money they get paid for what little activities they're allowed to do.
Yeah. Their commission will be cut to a third, or they'll become an employee at an employee-based type, and if you look at where all they're going, almost every one of them are going to an employee model.
What do you know about, just speaking of that, what do you know about the Amazon Realogy news?
It's very interesting because it's hard to keep up with. It's moving fast. So we know that Realogy partnered with Amazon, and that their agents, if they are taking a lead from that model, will lose at least 70%, or I'm sorry, at least 40+% of their commission in trade for about $1,000 package to the consumer. So if it's a $250,000 house, I'm trading over $5,000 of my commission to give you, the consumer, $1,000 Amazon package with Amazon tools. With Amazon, them bringing their vendors, their contractors, their home service providers in, and kind of trumping me and my relationships with my business Rolodex. So it's not good. And then I searched the other day. All you have to do is go on Amazon and say, find a realtor. And there's all different realtors. It's not just Realogy anymore.
Yeah. You said something today I wanted you to share about the referrals. Wasn't that you that said?
Yes. My wake up call today thinking about this was, we've been used to paying referral fees. I was with a company years ago that was a big relocation company, and you paid referral fees. I actually personally never took them because as a mega agent, I didn't want to have to pay those high fees, and it was just a mess and all the crap you had to do.
Well,
so
I worked your database.
Yeah, I worked my database, and so I never did do that. But I said, this is different, because the difference here is once you got a referral from a relocation company, you paid that referral fee, but you're in your mind, you're thinking, but this customer is going to be mine
for life.
That's not going to happen with Amazon.
No.
They're getting them. You're going to pay the referral fee, and you will not out trump them on their ability to give that person a one-to-one future. If you don't have a platform like we have or like we're creating, you will not, you'll get that one referral, but you'll give up the customer for life. That was my aha today.
Well, and
that's
just think
huge.
about this. Just think about how many people in your database, what percentage of your database do you think uses Amazon?
Oh, probably 100%
Yeah.
or close.
Right. So do you think Amazon's going to out-trump your marketing skills?
Oh, absolutely.
So here's the other shame of it. If I'm in your database and I was already going to buy or sell with you, and you're with one of these companies that have sold out to Amazon, what's the chance that I might accidentally click on that button just because I want the deal?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then my commission to you just went from, well, as a consumer, went from $7,500 to $2,000.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You know,
And
that's scary.
we already have pretty low margins. So I would, Danny, you want to ask?
No,
a
I was
question
just
or
going
add
to say about Amazon really fast. What you and I actually exchanged emails about an agent that I know who is now a preferred Amazon agent. Why should agents be leery of that? Leery, I guess I would say.
Well, you know, it's like dancing with the devil. Why do you want to get in business with the person trying to take you out?
Right.
Yeah.
And why are we, it's kind of like buying Zillow leads now. Why are we funding the competitor that's obviously trying to eliminate us?
Right.
You know, it's kind of insane. And so you look at what agents are doing and how they're moving forward. We need to help our agents get off of Zillow. We need to help our agents unplug from .loop.
Yeah.
And we need to provide them a platform that's going to help them be that agent of the future, which frankly is awesome.
Mm-hmm.
It is a cool experience. So right now what I would be doing is getting hyper local, you know, really building out my Rolodex with local service providers and be that mayor of your database. Be that person, that connector to the community, connector to services, connector to great vendors, connector to information and lifestyle. Because after I've sold you the home, we need to stay in business. We need to stay in relationship together. And now is the time to get back to that. So for many years, we kind of slid out of that relationship that we used to have when we had to go belly to belly to get people to sign contracts. And before we had, you know, all this internet and technology. And so I feel that we're going to become the old school realtor that we were in the 80s.
Yeah.
And I'm looking forward to it a little bit because it's about relationships.
Yeah. Yeah. Scary for those that don't do that though, because that's the one thing that technology can't do is they can't be that fiduciary relationship that we actually can do.
Yeah.
One thing I want to add, last comment, that's a great comment from you, Jess, and then Dana, if you have a final comment as we wrap up here, is I would like to say to the people that are not with KW or with the company, and we don't normally talk about Keller Williams this much or say our company name that much. However, we have to in this one because we've been actively working on this for 4 years as a company. But I still want my friends and everyone who's somewhere else to have a plan to do. So I would say if you're with an independent, you know, I would start having the conversation with my broker. What are we going to do about this? You know, what can we do about this, or what are we going to do about this? And if you're with a big conglomerate, I would go raise Cain if they're giving and they're partnering with Amazon. I would go really make a fuss and say, instead of doing this, why aren't we building our own platform where we can have the same one-to-one future and we can be the Amazon of real estate and the Netflix of real estate? Would you add any other advice that you would, because we're all in this together no matter who we're with, and we need everybody on board. Would you tell them anything different or any advice to anybody who's somewhere else? Besides
focusing on relationships, evaluate your bolt-on tech. Look at your business and find out who owns the company that you're putting all your data in. Because, you know, frankly, none of us really thought about that years ago and not even up until recently. So, and then, you know, I would challenge you to learn what Keller Williams is doing and learn what other companies are doing so that you're not naive, because it's not your broker's responsibility to give you a plan. It's yours. This is your business. You better have a plan B if your plan isn't working out, and it doesn't harm you to get educated.
Yeah, good one. Dana, final thoughts would you leave everyone with?
Yeah, well, two last things. And one, I just remember this when I was looking through my notes, but I love that Gary said yesterday that Amazon actually offered Keller Williams that deal.
And they turned it down.
He said no. Yeah. And then Keller Williams looked at our platform, or I'm sorry, Amazon looked at the Keller Williams platform and said they wanted to invest.
Yeah.
And Gary said no.
Yeah.
So I think those are two important pieces of information.
Yes.
And then lastly, I was going to say, I love what our friend Jason Abrams shared from stage today that I think Gary says all the time. Anytime you have a problem in your business, you're either missing systems and models, a piece of technology, or a person. And I feel like right now, as agents are assessing where they are in their business, well, really, they could be missing all three of those things. However, as we move quickly over the next, 6 to 9 months, number two, the technology is probably going to be the piece that they're all missing.
Mhm.
So I just think it's important to really be aware of that, and then for them to do all of the things that you said today. I did want you to say though, what are your resources? I know you mentioned your website that people can go to, but I know you're a big Inman reader.
I read everything. There's plenty of fake news out there as well. So you have to kind of,
which is why I would love for you to kind of talk into that a little bit.
Yeah. So I read all publications, and you can see through a lot of the fake news.
Yep.
And yet I don't just rely on one source. I follow several. And if you go to jessicafoxcoaching.com, I actually have a list that you can start tracking.
Perfect.
Awesome. Thank you, Jessica. We appreciate your time today. And remember, if you have a question, submit it to info@lindamckissick.com or reach out to us on Instagram. If you'd like to be a guest on our podcast and you have a situation, a problem, or a challenge or an opportunity that you would like to discuss with Dana and I, reach out and let us know. And remember, the more you let us know about your business, the more we're going to be able to help. And if you'd like more information about the fourth industrial revolution, if this is your first time to hear about it and you're like, help me understand, reach out and maybe we could do just either a short group call or a one-on-one call to help you in that particular subject. So I just want to say thanks everyone, and thank you Dana, and thank you Jessica.
Jess, thanks for all you're doing. You're making a big difference
Yes.
in the lives of agents with KW and not with KW. So we
Yes.
appreciate you.
Keep it up.
Thank you.
Thank you.
See you next time.